Ever splurged, bought something on impulse?
Yeah.
I go for the deals. I cannot pass up a deal. I really do.
I'm impressed.
Some of us, we really overdo it, and that is why Charles Schwab, the brokerage firm, came up with a contest called Oh Chuck, I blew my cash.
Keeping it clean, right? More than 250 people submitted confessions. We'll announce the winner in just a moment. But first, here's a look at some of the people who entered the contest.
I didn't think I'd get a real live unicorn for 60 bucks, but I thought I'd get more than the head.
Anybody want to ride? It doesn't get very good gas mileage, so it's been pretty expensive to drive around just by myself.
I blew 600 bucks to become the king of my very own bouncy castle that no one ever uses.
I bought all these collectible plush toys in the 90s as an investment for my future, and now they're all worthless.
I spent $117 on this puppet and jug.
We do have a winner in there somewhere, but joining us now is Antwon Harris. He's a vice president and certified financial planner with Charles Schwab.
And remember the guy with the big bouncy house? Well, he is the grand prize winner. Dan Lamoureux is from Thornton, Illinois. He won $10,000 in a Schwab brokerage account for sharing his splurge, and it's great to have both of you with us.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
So
thank you.
You actually made some money on this bouncy house.
Yeah, I did better than break even, I'll say that, yeah.
So what'd you learn from the whole thing?
I learned that kids are very fickle, and any toy that you get them, they'll be bored of it in 5 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's this big or, you know, the size of a little castle.
Everybody has a thought process, right? What was yours? Like, man, this is a great idea. How did you get to that?
I have a really big family with lots of little cousins all of a sudden they're all over. And we all get together a few times a year at my grandmother's for barbecues. And I thought this will be the hit of, you know, every barbecue we have for the next 10 years. And it didn't work out that way. Yeah.
What do you recommend, Antwon, people do? Because it's natural that people get caught up in ideas, but how do they stay away from actually fulfilling them?
Absolutely. This happens all the time. So it's okay to splurge a little bit and spend on some extra things that make you happy and have a little bit of fun. The most important thing first, though, is to take care of the essentials. So oftentimes clients or people don't actually take care of the essential things first and then use the extra money to spend on these additional items. So we try, at Schwab, we try to have a priority list for clients to say, hey, if we're going to allocate money, what should we do first? The first thing that you should do is allocate at least the amount that your 401k plan is willing to match. So if you're fortunate enough to have a 401k plan at work and the employer is going to be generous enough to match, that's free money. That's a 100% return right off the top. So take advantage of that at least. The second thing we want to talk about, bad debt versus good debt. High interest, non-deductible debt. So if you're not able to write that interest off on your taxes at the end of the year, you want to start to pare that debt down very quickly. Start to do that secondly. Third, you need an emergency fund. Oftentimes, you'll have a situation where, hey, your car will break down or your washing machine will break down.
You fell out of the bouncy house.
Right, exactly. These are all machines. We know eventually they're going to break down at some point. So it's always a surprise, but it's not really a surprise. So you need to have an emergency fund to take care of these types of issues. So what we suggest is if there's a dual income household, at least 3 months of living expenses and something that's very safe, very liquid that you can access right away. Cash or savings account or a money market account. If there's a one-income household, you need at least 6 months of living expenses. And if you're retired, 1 to 2 years of living expenses should be allocated to an emergency fund.
So Dan here's got 10 grand. What are you telling Dan to do with this money? And Dan, what do you want to do with the money?
He was telling me backstage that I should buy 10 more bouncy castles. That was his advice.
8 more.
Funny how that is.
First thing you should do, Dan, is really start to put some goals around that money. Put pen to paper and say, hey, what are my goals for this money longer term? When may I need this money? Do I need it in 2 years? Do I need it in 10 years? Or do I need it in 20 years? The most valuable piece that you have in your favor is time. Time value is the most powerful thing that you could actually pull that lever and apply to your personal situation. I'll get questions up.
Well, I'm sorry, we have to end it there, Antwon Harris. Okay. But people can go to charleschwab.com for more information. And Don, best wishes with the little nest egg you have now.
We're doing the contest one more time. So if you go to Facebook.com/Charles Schwab, you can actually sign up for the contest. We're doing it one more time.
Good deal.